Hi, I'm Candace Perry, a resident physician living in Bozeman, Montana. For years I believed I was a good daughter. Every month I sent my parents money without hesitation. Rent, prescriptions, car repairs, internet bills. Whatever problem appeared, I solved it. Every payment carried my name. I told myself it was love. I told myself family always comes first. But the truth revealed itself on the day they didn't come to my wedding. There was no call, no message, just empty chairs where my parents should have been. I slipped outside the hall, my veil trembling in the wind, and dialed my mother's number with shaking fingers. She answered after several rings. Her voice was colder than I had ever heard. "Don't bother us." The line went silent. Something inside me cracked in that moment. But it wasn't my heart. It was a habit that had controlled my life for years. Back in the bridal suite, I opened my laptop. One by one I closed the doors I had kept open for them for so long. Accounts, transfers, automatic payments, everything tied to their needs. They missed my wedding, so I cut the cord. For a long time sending money had become automatic, like brushing my teeth in the morning. My parents always had a reason, a bill, a repair, a sudden emergency. Every excuse sounded urgent and convincing. Gratitude never followed. Instead, there were short messages. Received. Need more. You sent it late. After long hospital shifts, I would collapse into a chair, exhausted, and still open my banking app. Watching the balance fall somehow made me feel like I had proven something, like I had passed an invisible test of loyalty. My mother often repeated the same phrase, "Family comes first." My father had another label for me, the stable one. He said it proudly, but the word always felt heavy. Stability, in their world, meant responsibility without limits. Meanwhile, my younger sister Brooke lived a very different life. She worked in luxury real estate and thrived in Bozeman's booming market. She drove a new SUV, carried designer bags, and posted photos of elegant homes and expensive dinners. Whenever she visited, my parents treated her like a celebrity returning from victory. They praised her loudly. They told neighbors how successful she was. My name rarely appeared in those conversations unless money was involved. One evening I finally asked my father why they never acknowledged what I was doing. He looked at me calmly. "You're doing well. You can handle it." My mother nodded quickly. "Brooke is still building her future. You're stable." Stable again. The word echoed like a quiet sentence. So instead of questioning them, I quietly sacrificed more. No vacations. No weekends away. No unnecessary spending. Just hospital shifts, overtime, and silent resentment growing inside me. My fiancé Sean noticed before I did. One night he watched me scrolling through my banking app and asked a question that froze the room. "Why do you let them use you?" His voice was gentle but steady. I couldn't answer. Maybe because admitting the truth felt like betraying my parents. Maybe because I had built my entire identity around being the one who fixed everything. If I stopped helping them, who would I be? But what I called love was actually something else. Control disguised as obligation. And I didn't recognize it until the day they missed my wedding. After that call, the world around me felt strangely quiet. Not peaceful, just empty of excuses. Sean made tea and sat across from me. "Talk to me," he said softly. I stared at the table. "I don't know who I am without responsibility." He shook his head. "You're more than their emergency fund." His words felt like a railing in the dark. Something solid to hold on to while everything else shifted. Life continued in the hospital. Nights turned into mornings filled with beeping monitors and tired smiles from patients who whispered thank you. Outside, winter lights glowed across the streets of Bozeman. But my phone kept buzzing. Water bill, insurance payment, transfer now. For the first time in years I didn't answer immediately. Silence followed. And in that silence I heard something new. My own heartbeat. A few days later I met my friend Gloria at a small diner. She worked in law and had the kind of mind that noticed patterns others ignored. She slid a legal pad across the table. "Write down everything you pay for," she said. "Accounts, cards, logins, transfers, subscriptions." The list grew longer and longer. Her pen moved quickly. "This isn't support," she said quietly. "This is dependency." The words made my stomach tighten. "Start with boundaries," Gloria continued, circling the word on the page. "Delay a payment. Ask questions. Watch how they react." So I tried. Within minutes, my mother called. Her voice was sharp. "Why don't you trust us?" Guilt fell over me like cold rain. But Sean stood beside me in the kitchen, steady and calm. That night I opened every account I had neglected to protect. Passwords changed. Security enabled. Statements printed. Documents organized into folders. I labeled one folder with 2 words. Future me. A small flame lit inside my chest. Quiet. Warm. Defiant. Not long after that I visited my grandmother Lillian. Her small house smelled like pine and fresh coffee. She studied my face carefully. "You look tired," she said gently. "Not weak, just tired." The words broke something loose inside me, and tears followed without warning. "I'm planning a small wedding," I told her. Her eyes brightened immediately. "I'll be there," she said with stubborn certainty. Hope returned slowly, fragile but alive. We chose a simple community hall with wooden beams and soft lights. I mailed invitations carefully. I even called my parents and offered to cover their travel costs. They promised they would come, and I believed them, because daughters always hope. The morning of the ceremony arrived bright and cold. Sunlight touched the snow outside while guests quietly filled the rows of white chairs. Sean waited with his vows folded neatly in his pocket. I kept looking at the doorway. Seconds passed. Then minutes. There was no call, no message, no sign of them. The old ache returned, heavy and familiar. But this time I didn't collapse under it. I walked calmly to the bridal suite, opened my laptop beside the bouquet, and finished what fear had postponed for years. Automatic transfers disabled. Cards frozen. Access removed. The lace on my sleeve moved softly as I closed the screen. It sounded like the turning of a page. I didn't wait for apologies. I built my way out. And the truth that surfaced afterward would reveal something far darker than neglect. It would expose lies, betrayal, and a secret hidden for years within my own family.